Welcome to News 9. You are watching On Point with me. In the first On Point, we will be talking about the role of Eknath Shinde in Maharashtra politics. Will he serve as Deputy CM or join cabinet in Delhi? The second On Point is Mizoram Chief Minister Laldu Homa calling Biren Singh a liability for Manipur. But before that, headlines. Supreme Court orders trial court to halt Sambal mosque survey and directs UP government to maintain peace. UP government constitutes a 3-member judicial inquiry commission to probe the violence in Sambal. Not received any request from United States government, says MEO on Adani indictment case. Violence against Hindus on rise in Bangladesh as extremists attack 2 temples and assault Hindus in Chittagong. Days after poll debacle, Congress writes to EC flagging inconsistency in Maharashtra voter data. Ten dead, several injured after bus overturns in Maharashtra. Raj Kundra's house raided by Enforcement Directorate in porn content case. Tamil Nadu braces for cyclone. Fengal schools in Chennai, Chengalpattu closed. And Australia bans social media for children under 16, becoming the first country to do so. Eknath Shinde wants to stay in or wants to stay out? Now that's the big question and that's the big story we are going to follow today. What will Eknath Shinde do? The caretaker Chief Minister of Maharashtra. The caretaker Chief Minister Shinde is resigned to his fate. He knows that he will not be the Chief Minister. To salvage the situation, he said that his party will not be a roadblock for the government formation. A long press conference was held. Mind you, the press conference was not held in Varsha, but it was held at his residence. But there is more to the story than what meets the eye. The meetings that started with fanfare in Delhi have stalled. The pictures, the bouquets and the photographs that were tweeted yesterday late night was there for everyone to see. Leaders now have gone back and some to their native place. So let's account for what has happened in the last 48 hours. There are 7 takeaways. The first takeaway is oath-taking ceremonies on 5th December at Azad Maidan, sources are telling us. 18 ministers are likely to take oath. But Eknath Shinde is reluctant to be part of the cabinet. That's the most important part of the story. That is the beating heart of the story, that Eknath Shinde is reluctant to be part of the cabinet. Now, the fourth part is negotiation for portfolios are still on. The fifth is negotiation on the speaker position is still on. Sixth is BJP has not called its legislative party meeting yet. And seventh is parties are yet to hold internal discussion. But before that, let me play out those 2 pictures. So the bottom line here is, why is Eknath Shinde relenting? But what about these 2 pictures which we have? Now these pictures, if you look at Fadnavis, if you look at Nadda, if you look at Amit Shah, all of them are smiling. Photograph is telling. Mr. Shinde is not smiling. And I am not reading too much into it. He is there Look at the smile on the face of JP Nadda. Look at the smile on the face of Amit Shah. Look at the smile on the face of Prafulla Patel. But Eknath Shinde is not smiling. I'll just take an opening comment from Brijesh and then I'll read the other part of the story and then introduce Jayant Mainkar and Savio Rodriguez, both of them senior journalists. But Brijesh, first to you, the semantics, the photo op, the man is not smiling.
The man is not smiling because obviously once you have been the chief minister, who would want to be a deputy chief minister? But let me also tell one thing, Kartike, that he's just playing hard to get. Because he also knows that there's zero elbow room as far as who gets to be what in the state of Maharashtra. I think BJP with 132 plus 5 is an unsurmountable figure even for all the opposition parties put together. So there's not much to do. Today in the parliament, one of the Shiv Sena MP talking to a media house made a statement and he said that that there are chances, and which is something which we have spoken about it, Kartike, that there are chances that Shrikant Shinde might be accommodated in the Modi cabinet and the father might agree for deputy CM's position. So I'm just saying that he's just playing hard to get. He knows he has zero elbow room. He knows he has zero numbers. He knows he has no place to go to.
He's hard to get. In the last 24 hours, all the state leaders met Amit Shah, and the photo op, as I showed you, was to ensure that the message remains the same, that everyone is on board. Let me play out the bite of Eknath Shinde, let me play out the bite of Naresh Mahesake and the bite of Sudhir Mugantiwar. Just to put in perspective, let me play out these two bites first.
महायुतीची महाबैठक झाली, अतिशय सकारात्मक झाली आणि आता पहिली बैठक झाली. आता पुन्हा उद्या बैठक होईल आणि त्यातून निर्णय होईल महायुतीचा मुख्यमंत्री आणि महायुतीची मंत्रिमंडळ गठीत होईल.
उद्याची बैठक कुठं होणार आहे, मुंबईत की दिल्लीमध्ये होणार आहे?
उद्या मुंबईत होईल.
गृहमंत्री अमित शाह जी इनके घर में मीटिंग हुई. वो मीटिंग में माननीय एकनाथ शिंदे साहब, देवेंद्र फडणवीस साहब, अजीत दादा और महायुति के नेता लोग वहां उपस्थित थे. आज माध्यम में मैं देख रहा हूं, ये मांगा, वो मंत्री पद मांगा, 11 मांगा, 12 मांगा, 13 मांगा, लेकिन मुझे ये जानकारी है कल सिर्फ महाराष्ट्र की विकास, महाराष्ट्र की समृद्धि और महाराष्ट्र का सुख, इसके बारे में चर्चा हो गई. और अभी तक केंद्र सरकार जिस तरह से महाराष्ट्र सरकार के डेवलपमेंट के पीछे खड़े हैं, वैसे ही आगे खड़ा रहना चाहिए, ये विनंती महाराष्ट्र की जनता की तरफ से अमित भाई को की. और अमित भाई ने भी माननीय पंतप्रधान नरेंद्र मोदी जी इनकी तरफ से महाराष्ट्र के विकास के लिए, महाराष्ट्र के डेवलपमेंट के लिए, महाराष्ट्र के सुख शांति के लिए केंद्र सरकार कटिबद्ध है, ये मैसेज हम हमारे नेताओं को दिया. मुझे तो मालूम है इतना ही चर्चा हो गई. माध्यम में जो चर्चा हो रही है, ये मंत्री पद मांगा, वो मंत्री पद, वो सब गलत है. महाराष्ट्र की डेवलपमेंट के बारे में कल उनकी चर्चा हो गई. ये देखो, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ शिंदे साहब ने 2 दिन पहले ही प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस लेके जाहिर किया है, हमें सीएम के कुर्सी पे कुछ भी इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. जो नेता लोग, महायुति के नेता लोग जो डिसीजन लेंगे, उनके पीछे हम खड़े हैं.
सरकार के शपथ के पहले आपस में बैठक होती है, बैठक में चर्चा होती है, चर्चा से समाधान की ओर आगे बढ़ते हैं. देखो, ऐसे भावना के साथ थोड़ी मुख्यमंत्री होते हैं. मुख्यमंत्री जनता को न्याय देने वाला, हमारे महाराष्ट्र को आगे बढ़ाने वाला, छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज के संकल्प को पूरा करने वाला मुख्यमंत्री चाहिए. तो महाराष्ट्र का मुख्यमंत्री होता है, वो कोई गांव का, कोई शहर का, कोई महानगर का मुख्यमंत्री नहीं होता. महाराष्ट्र को आगे बढ़ाने वाला होगा. और हमारे पार्टी की ओर से इस विषय में करीब करीब सभी निर्णय हो चुके हैं.
Now, the big question of our debate on point is, will Eknath Shinde serve as deputy CM or will he join cabinet in Delhi? That's the big question. Can he afford to stay outside? Devendra Fadnavis also served as the deputy chief minister. Does Eknath Shinde has a choice? Can he stay outside? So the question is, will Eknath Shinde serve as deputy CM or will he join cabinet in Delhi? Or is there a third choice? I'll come to it. Let me go to Savio Rodriguez, senior journalist who joins me, and then I'll go to Mr. Mainkar. Mr. Rodriguez, am I audible to you?
Yes, you are.
Okay. A very warm welcome to you. So, what are the choices Eknath Shinde enjoys today?
Well, I think if I was Eknath Shinde, and I know Eknath Shinde and his team pretty well, I would choose to take the position that they would give me at the center, because it will give me an opportunity to play a larger role at a national level, owing to the fact that I have done well as the chief minister during my tenure in Maharashtra. So if I'm getting an elevation to move to the center and can contribute to my state and my country, I could consider that, and I should consider that in all fairness. That's how I would look at it. However, Eknath Shinde being someone who is very a ground person, a ground caretaker, in touch with a lot of people at a ground level, he might want to and consider that he could have an option as the chief minister, because he did do a good job in the alliance that was there. However, that is not the situation right now, and there has to be a certain amount of practicality which he follows with regards to his political career, as well as with regards to what he can do for the country and the state. So, Mr. Eknath Shinde, for all his humility, for all his hard work, and for all the sacrifices that he has made, is an inspirational leader that can do a lot more at a central level if given an opportunity. And I think he should take the central opportunity rather than opting for a choice of deputy CM, which I am quite sure he's not going to take.
So that's an important point, Savio, you have made, that you feel that he is not going to take the position of a deputy chief minister. Mr. Mainkar, that's my opening question, and then I'll go to Brijesh. Will he become the deputy chief minister under Fadnavis? Fadnavis became deputy chief minister under Eknath Shinde.
Why he should not? Rather, I remember 2.5 years
I'm asking
before.
you, do you
Yeah,
think?
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
asking you a straight question, on point first.
Yeah, I am answering in the same manner. Why he should not? Because 2.5 years before, this at the Sagar, Bangalore, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis came down to announce that Eknath Shinde will be the chief minister, and a shock wave was sent among the journalists. I mean, was saying that, okay, what will be his role? And he said, I will not take any ministry. Everything changed within half an hour. We all know that is history. And Devendra Fadnavis accepted to be deputy chief minister within half an hour. If Devendra can budge within half an hour, with all these things are going on from 23rd, it was crystal clear that Devendra will be the chief minister. There is no option left. I mean, now the word which you also used, Kartikeya, there is no option left for Mr. Eknath Shinde. There is no question of he going to central government and his son becoming here deputy chief minister. It is because Narendra Modi on clear grounds opposes this nepotism, saying that I don't want particularly nepotism in BJP. That's the first criteria which I have seen from Gujarat days. So he will accept to be deputy chief minister. He will not, he is not in a position to demand that I should get home. Home will be with chief minister Devendra Fadnavis. Finance will be with Ajit Pawar. There may be some remaining distinct departments that will be discussed. Urban development will remain with Eknath Shinde. And no option left. And as far as delay is concerned,
Mr. Mainkar, we will step by step, step by step.
Okay.
For viewers, first step is, which, I engaged Savio. Will he be the deputy chief minister? He said he is unlikely to be the deputy chief minister. You said he is unlikely to be the deputy chief minister, Mr. Mainkar?
He will be the deputy.
Okay, you are saying he will be the deputy chief minister. Okay, so you are saying he will be the deputy chief minister. Brijesh.
Well, I think, he has no other option left. He has to be deputy chief minister. The reason I say so.
But your assessment, deputy chief minister or
deputy chief minister? Because, if you become a minister, then you'll have to again fight Lok Sabha election to get elected as a member of parliament. How are you going to do that? And, there are various things. His son is there already a member of parliament. He can be accommodated as part of a quid pro quo as a junior minister, or if he, situation demands, be made MOS independent. Mr. Mainkar, kind of echoed what I said. But one thing I don't agree with Mr. Mankar is when he says that, both father son can't be accommodated in one government. We have seen, it's all about practicality. With Modi government, practicality is also a very deciding factor, and I don't see Mr. Eknath Shinde having any kind of elbow room whatsoever, no kind of pressure on the BJP government. It's an absolute majority. Consider it as an absolute majority, so they don't need anybody. So Mr. Eknath Shinde is a wily politician. He knows this. He's just playing hard to get. That's about it. He's not going to get home. He's not going to get anything else. He's not going to get even a speaker, because the BJP will make sure. And in time of crisis, speaker becomes the most important person in any kind of.
We'll come to it later. So Savio, what will Eknath Shinde get politically if he makes the decision to stay outside the cabinet? One. And secondly, do you think that by staying out of cabinet, any difference will be made to the functioning of this government, because they have absolute number?
No, I don't think they would make any difference to the functioning of the government. Please understand that Eknath Shinde is a very grassroots caretaker, and he has always been that. It is just that with the BJP and the alliance that they formed, he was elevated to the chief minister's position. He's delivered, and that at that point of time was strategic. Right now, the numbers are with BJP. Yes, Mr. Eknath Shinde must be trying to play hard to get, but in light of the fact that he is a good politician, he is a grassroots worker, and can contribute extensively to Maharashtra and India while being at the center, I think he should consider that option, because winning a Lok Sabha election with this kind of majority is not that difficult for the combination of the Mahayuti. What is important is for him to understand what is the next step of his political career that he is going to take, because demanding of a chief minister position at this stage where BJP has the numbers is not really the right thing to do, because what you really have is a good amount of options for the BJP to choose its chief minister, and therefore he should take the higher ground, which is both metaphorically speaking as well, go to the center, contribute to Maharashtra and the center, and I'm sure that the BJP at the center as part of the NDA would be accommodating to somebody of the caliber of Mr. Eknath Shinde. And that's the next progression, if you were to ask me logically.
I agree to that. Mr. Shinde is sulking. Savio, he's sulking.
Well, I can't help him from that. It's my opinion that is there. The point is this. Eventually, Karthike, I am giving you a view based on the fact that there is a contribution of a good person who has done good politics in Maharashtra. He needs to find a way to move forward. You have to move from one chair to go to the next. And thereby, him moving to the center will add value to his own caliber, add value to the commitment that he has to Maharashtra, and further add value to India as a country.
So this brings me to another question. Will that be an amicable solution? But before that, let me play out the bite of Bhagwan Kishan and Shambhu Raj, two people from this alliance parivar, and then we move forward.
चुनाव के पहले और चुनाव के बाद में भी हमेशा बताया जा रहा है कि ये हमारे तीनों पक्ष के नेता, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के माननीय देवेंद्र जी फडणवीस साहब, शिवसेना शिंदे गुट के नेता माननीय मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ जी शिंदे साहब, और राष्ट्रवादी अजीत दादा पवार गुट के अजीत दादा पवार साहब, तीनों बैठ के सोच करके ऊपर आएंगे, और जो कुछ डिसाइड हो गया वो ऊपर बताने के बाद वो फाइनल हो सकता है, जल्दी फाइनल हो जाएगा। मुझे लगता है नेक्स्ट वीक में ये फाइनल हो जाएगा। जो कोई होगा, हमें सिर्फ इस बात पे खुशी है कि ये स्टेबल गवर्नमेंट रहेगा, और महाराष्ट्र जैसे विकसित राज्य और विकसित बनने के लिए, देश में नंबर 1 बनाने के लिए ये जो नई सरकार बनेगी, ये स्टेबल सरकार रहेगी, अच्छी जनता के लिए काम करेंगी, और एक विकसित महाराष्ट्र बनके महाराष्ट्र राज्य देश में नंबर 1 का राज्य बनेगा। पर्टिकुलरली अभी तो है, लेकिन उद्योग हो, कृषि हो, एजुकेशन हो, हेल्थ हो, हर सेक्टर में महाराष्ट्र का प्रोग्रेस होगा, हमें ऐसा भरोसा है।
शिवसेने की तरफ से जो शिवसेना के विधायकों का कहना है, जो शिवसैनिकों का कहना है, वो हम लोग ने जो महायुति के वरिष्ठ नेता है माननीय अमित शाह साहब उनके सामने रखा है। और इसके बारे में अभी या तो महाराष्ट्र के महायुति के नेता एक बार फिर से महाराष्ट्र में बैठ के कोई ड्राफ्ट तय करेंगे कैसा आगे जाना है, या तो फिर दिल्ली से जो महायुति के या एनडीए के सीनियर लीडर है उनकी तरफ से इसके ऊपर कोई सोल्यूशन निकलेगा। बैठक में पूरे इलेक्शन का कैसा कैंपेनिंग रहा, कैसा लोगों ने महायुति को महाराष्ट्र में चुना, इतना बड़ी विक्ट्री मिलने का क्या क्या कैसे कैसे हम लोग को ये विक्ट्री प्राप्त हुई, ये सभी विषयों पर चर्चा हुई। और आगे सरकार कैसे बनानी चाहिए, किसका कैसा रोल होना चाहिए, इसके किसका कैसा मान सम्मान रखना चाहिए, ये सभी बातों के ऊपर चर्चा हुई। और मुझे लगता है 1 या 2 दिन में इसके ऊपर फाइनल सोल्यूशन निकल सकता है।
Okay. So the big issue is that none of the alliance partners can do anything. But then this brings into play a question that wherever Bharatiya Janata Party has worked with its allies, it has ended up taking over them. I would say none of the alliance partners have survived them. People who have done business with them, if not allied with them, they are done. Jagan Mohan is done in Andhra Pradesh. Naveen Patnaik is done in Odisha. If we look at Nitish, he is already on the brink. And if we look at Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar, they are on the leash. We'll talk about all these contours because this decision will create a new narrative, a new talk, at least in context of BJP and its alliance partners, but after a short break.
India's neighborhood has been in turbulence all throughout. Sheikh Hasina was forced to resign and take refuge in India.
Myanmar itself is facing an enormous internal crisis of sorts.
Periods of India's greatest strength was when the neighborhood did not have a problem with it.
There are events that are larger than your ability to control them. What you have to do is to make the best of those events and move forward.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
So now my question is, in Maharashtra, the momentum Bharatiya Janata Party has, the alliance partners are principally will have a lesser role to play. So Mr. Mainkar, the rules of the game have been shifted. The BJP is the dominant party in Odisha. BJP is in power with other political parties in Andhra Pradesh. BJP has completely sidelined the others, or the so-called Chautalas who were part and parcel of the NDA in the earlier avatar. Now the BJP rules the roost, and in Maharashtra BJP is pretty comfortable. So my question to you is, will it spawn a narrative that wherever BJP expands, it has to be at the expense of an alliance partner?
Of course, and you may add one more name, that is Shiromani Akali Dal.
Yeah. Okay.
It's Punjab. It's more or less in the same boat, and of course they have also finished even Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray. I mean the Hindutva and everything. And they got that Shiva Sena which they wanted because Balasaheb Thackeray never worked under BJP. So they got the Shiva Sena which is working under them. They got Ajit Pawar, who is definitely agreeing to be deputy in Devendra Fadnavis's cabinet. So yes, and within no time, I mean by 20, I mean though you may say, are you talking about future? But by the end of this term, you may see both the parties are getting merged with BJP, and many of their leaders even tacitly accept this fact that we will not be left with any other option but either to completely toe the line of BJP or get merged with them for survival.
Of the Maharashtra politics?
Well, not only Maharashtra, Kartikeya, if you look at the entire states also dispassionately, any political party which is on a massive expansion spree, it often happens at the cost of the allies. If you look at the fact that there were talks of before the election that Sharad Pawar wanted to merge NCP, Sharad Pawar or NCP, erstwhile Avatar, with the Congress party, with a dominant role for his daughter Supriya Sule. So anybody does that, and right now if you look at the fact that the BJP is a party which is an electoral phenomena which India I think witnessed only at the time of Mrs. Gandhi, is the party to go for. And all these Shiva Sainiks and all this hardline Hindutva, all this talk of that we are the real practitioner. I don't think that there's a bigger brand ambassador of hardline Hindutva than Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And the kind of electoral blip which they suffered in 2024 general election, they bounced back with such phenomenal electoral success in Haryana and Maharashtra. So, them expanding and eating into territory of their allies is a natural political phenomenon. It's not like, that they're playing shady. That is what happens, when you have power. You remember the time when, Bala Saheb Thackeray would sit on a chair and the BJP guy would stand. It's power. The equation has changed. Nothing else has changed.
Savio, it's also about numbers. I still recall Amar Singh, it's 2004, with 44 MPs in Lok Sabha, Samajwadi Party, and Congress with only 146, 147. Congress didn't induct him, didn't take their help. There was no Samajwadi Party minister. And full 5 years, smaller parties had minister in the UPA cabinet, but party with 44 MPs was without any minister, and they also ended up doing the dirty job by helping out UPA survive the worst crisis, which was the nuclear crisis. So, do you think that numbers have become irrelevant? And that is why even if Eknath Shinde sulks, it doesn't make a difference. You can sulk because the magnitude of the victory is so high that even your respectable numbers don't make a difference. So your sulk doesn't make a difference.
Kartikeya, since I understand a lot of startup mergers and acquisitions, very well, let's bring that understanding to politics as well. So BJP is like a Facebook, okay, as an example. BJP is like a Facebook and it's growing phenomenally well. And then you have something like WhatsApp that comes about that's also doing very well. It's a new market. Facebook does not want to get into that market, so it does the next best option that it wants. It goes and acquires that, and it first works with it, and then completely goes about acquiring the stake into WhatsApp, and that's why Meta now controls Facebook as well as controls WhatsApp as well. That is the same thing that is going to happen in politics as too, because at the end of the day, it is about numbers. Number one, it is about the power of that particular political party and its growth trajectory as far as the state or India is concerned. And that is what BJP is doing. So people are aligning with BJP in the hope of survival. And just like in a startup phenomenon, a larger company with major footfall and even funding is able to take over a company that is doing well of its own, so that it reaches a massive expanse and then you fits into the larger scheme of things. That's what's happening with BJP and smaller parties. So if a smaller party thinks that it can actually fight the BJP, well, it's most welcome to try. I mean, that's fine. You are within your right to do that. But please understand, just like I said in the example of Facebook, when a company is growing and the numbers are growing and everything is stacked towards it, the chances of that other party doing well within and those political leaders doing well within the BJP rises up as well, and that's why they're choosing the BJP.
So you're basically saying that the political template of Maharashtra politics has completely changed. So it doesn't make a difference anymore.
Of course.
Mr. Mainkar, do you think that any choice is left in front of Mr. Shinde? I mean, so tomorrow the centre can say BJP that, we don't think, you are required in New Delhi. I think you should be part of the Fadnavis cabinet because Fadnavis himself was part of your cabinet. Do you think he has a choice to exercise?
He is left with no choice but tamely accept. He and even Ajit Pawar needs tamely to accept.
Ajit Pawar doesn't want a choice. There's a difference.
Of course.
Ajit
No, he
Pawar
has
doesn't
no
want
choice.
a choice. He's
has
happy
no
with the
choice.
choices he has.
Both
So he's pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm saying both don't have the choice. And even currently, even BJP thinks to form the government on its own. They can form the government with nearly 137 strength they are reaching, and 8 they can do it. So 145, imagine the governments that ruled Maharashtra from 1999 till even 2014. All the governments were minority governments except one government. So it is possible, but still he is having two parties and they will have to accept. Both Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar will be forced with no option left except what BJP is offering.
Okay. And before I close the discussion, I think the bottom line, do you think that he will get the portfolio he wants? Because the last time when the negotiations took place, we all know the finance ministry has been defanged by the GST. So there's not much money left in finance. Urban development continues to be the most important portfolio when it comes to Maharashtra. It's an urban state. Both Gujarat and Maharashtra, it's very, very important. Brijesh, you said that the speaker's position is not going to go to them at any cost.
Absolutely.
Home ministry is not going to go to them at any cost. Do you think that this urban affairs portfolio, which is primarily the cities and the way the urban network is exercised, do you think it's going to stay with Eknath Shinde?
Most likely, but Karthik, I would like to add one more thing here, that the question which you asked before is something which the BJP is also acutely aware of. And if you remember, 2019 they made a song and dance about how that they have so many parties in the kitty of NDA, and they wanted to brush aside this impression that they eat into or they don't treat their allies well. And that is the reason I personally feel that no kind of disrespect will be shown either to Shinde or to Ajit Pawar, who is more than happy with what he's getting. And I think the BJP will be very accommodative towards Mr. Eknath Shinde as well. But it will be very clear to him that he's not getting what he's asking for. But they will definitely try to accommodate him either here or at the centre, because they would not want to sully or say this kind of phenomenal mandate which they have won on a sour note. So they will accommodate. But Eknath Shinde also knows that he can go this far and not beyond. So he can get a couple of Malay Mantralaya, which is absolutely all right. Everybody would want to have a piece of the action, but more than that, I think, it's BJP.
You're talking about the Malay Mantralaya, but the Rasmalai has been taken from him. So you have taken away Rasmalai from him, and you are saying that he's get a spoonful.
If I borrow a line from
spoonful of Malai, but the Rasmalai is gone.
I'll borrow a line from Savio. So if you look at the market term, you can have Rasmalai only because you can afford to buy a Rasmalai.
So he can only afford to have leftover malai, no rasmalai. So that's a very nice way in Brijesh has summed up our conversation. There is no rasmalai, or a little bit of malai, but I think that's what malai Eknath Shinde is going to get, and that is the Deputy Chief Minister's position. But if he stays out, then I would say it's definitely a story, because when you stay out and take a position like that, you open up probabilities, and in politics, you can never predict what is the future. So if he is out, then all the probabilities are open. I would like to thank all my guests on this point, but don't go away, because we will be back after a short break on the other side, and we'll discuss what Mizoram Chief Minister Laldu Homa said about the Manipur crisis. Don't go away.